Okay, happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Friday Flow with Foam Rollers. So we'll still get a little bit of yoga flow going today, but I do want to dedicate a lot of this class to using the foam roller for the end of our fitness reset week. And as we go into a nice long weekend, we also have another, just a 15-minute foam rolling session today at 1:15. Sarah and I are going to do that right after Weekend Warrior. So 1:15 to 1:30, we'll go a little more into some foam rolling if you want to join that one. Just write in the chat box if you don't have that info. So we're going to start in sort of this child's pose position. And you're going to place this foam roller right in front of you. And we're going to take our arms up as if you're making the letter Y, thumbs up so that we open up our shoulders. Take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, you're going to move that foam roller away from you, dropping your head between those arms. And then inhale, you're going to slowly slide back up, stacking one vertebrae at a time. And then exhale, roll it away from you. So if you don't have a foam roller, you're just going to walk your hands out and in front of you instead. So inhale, you'll walk your hands out, come all the way out as far as you can. And then exhale, you just walk them back in if you don't have that foam roller. So taking this nice and slow. Inhale up and exhale. Move that roller away from you. Continue to keep your shoulders open and thumbs up. Pressing those hips back, dropping your head in between those arms. So just getting a little bit more of a stretch rather than just sort of a static child's pose. So adding a little bit of movement here. Inhale. And exhale. So do this just a couple more times. Knees wide, feet together. And then on your last one here, just hold it for a couple of extra breaths. Extend those arms as far out as you can. Dropping that head down. Take a couple breaths here. Maybe shift your weight from side to side if that feels good. And slowly roll back up. Okay, now we're going to get even deeper into those arms and shoulders. So we're going to do our puppy pose, which I'll show you without the foam roller. You might not even need the foam roller for this one. Puppy pose is like down dog, but you're on your knees. So those hips are up, your elbows are down. Forearms are down, and you have a big stretch in your shoulders. So you can start with that. And then, if you're ready for the foam roller, you're going to do the same thing that we did with that child's pose. So you're going to extend those arms out. Drop the head in between the arms. Keep your hips up. This is going to be a much bigger stretch, so you might not be able to get the head all the way down. So big stretch for those shoulders. And if that doesn't feel good, you can do this without your foam roller and still get that stretch. So take a few breaths where you're at. Starting primarily with our upper body here is our first focus. Take one more breath in that puppy pose. And then very slowly roll it back up. And then take a little seat. Go ahead and just roll those shoulders if that was a lot. I know for me it was. So just a couple shoulder rolls. And then before we go into our next one, let's just move our roller lengthwise. For this one, you're actually just going to sit on top of it. So it's just going to act almost as if a block for our next exercise. We're going to use it in a bunch of different ways today. So nice seated position on that roller. Now, if it's moving around too much and you don't like this, you can just put it off to the side or actually sit on a block. But it's almost like you're sitting on a stability ball. So you have to be really mindful of your core and your posture while you're here. So it does make you work a little bit harder than just seated completely. So inhale, reach up. Nice deep breath, you're nice and tall. Imagine that piece of string on the top of the head lifting you up. And exhale, you're going to lower that left arm Take it to the floor, so maybe a little more stability, and then extend that right arm up. Just want to start to open up through our side body. Big reach here. Keep that chest open. Keep that head up slightly. Take an inhale, exhale, maybe reach an inch further. Think of pressing into that right hip, into your roller, into the floor. And then inhale, slowly come back up. And exhale, let's just lower those arms and take a couple of shoulder rolls here. So just a quick little breather in between right and left sides. And then inhale, take those arms back up. Nice and tall. Exhale, drop that right arm this time. Find the floor and extend that left arm all the way up. We're going to hold this here for just a couple of breaths. So you want to keep that chest open. Think of maybe pushing a little bit more into that left hip, pressing down into that roller or into your mat. Exhale, can you reach a little bit further and push those knees down and away to open up those hips. Inhale back to the center and then exhale, let it go. Perfect. Let's go ahead and slide off that roller. So now we're going to do a thread the needle exercise or stretch with our roller. So you can do it with the long one. If you have a short one, that's going to be much better for this movement. So I'll just have you, I'll show you the movement first. Just take a look at my screen. So you all know we've done this, the thread the needle. We're going to do that, but we're going to add the roller to it. So you're going to roll out and roll in, as you can see here. So you roll, so we're adding a little bit of movement rather than just threading through. So let's start in tabletop. Okay, we'll start with that right arm. So that means that the roller is going to be on the left side of your body. So inhale, just drive that right elbow up. Start that rotation. We're going to do just a couple here. And then exhale, let's take it to the floor. So don't touch the roller yet. Let's do 3 more like that. Inhale, drive that elbow up. Look over that right shoulder. Exhale, look towards that roller. Let's do 2 more inhale. We're just waking up the spine. Exhale, let's do 1 more, and then we're going to grab that roller. Inhale and exhale. So now you're going to flip your palm. Hand goes on that roller, and you're going to slide, push that roller away from you, lower the head. Let's come back up. Inhale. So we're going to do a couple of these slides and exhale. So just like that child's pose. Inhale and exhale. The body moves up. And then it moves down. Perfect. We'll do last one. So on the last one, you can take your head all the way down. Now, if that's way too much for your shoulder, just push the roller away. I'm going to do that. And then drop the head and just come into your regular thread the needle position. So you don't have to keep your arm on that foam roller. A little extra, you can extend your left arm up. Maybe wrap it around to reach your right hip. Just an option here. Let's hold this for a couple breaths. You can also just keep that left arm on the floor by your head. Keep those hips lifted. Let's take 1 more breath. Slowly drive your hips back. Come back up to tabletop. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just going to switch over so you can see that. So we're just adding the roller for the twist. And when you come all the way down, you can move that roller off to the side. So now you have your roller on the right side of your body. And now our left elbow is going to start to lift up. So inhale, left elbow, drive it up. Look over that left shoulder. And exhale, take it down. Let's do it 3 more times. Inhale, lift. And exhale. So just starting to open up through the back. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do this 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. This time, go ahead as if you're threading the needle. Palm is up. Slide that arm away from you. Move that foam roller away. Drop the chest a little bit. Inhale, come back up. And exhale. So just do this a couple times. Whatever feels good. Adding a little movement here. So with the roller, it kind of allows you to go a little further than you would if you're just sort of sliding your arm down and dropping it. So just a little bit of an extra push there. Okay, we'll do last one. On that last one, you can just move that foam roller out, just push it away, lower down onto your head, come into that full thread the needle pose. Option, extend that right arm up, maybe reach and wrap it around for that left hip. But if that doesn't feel good, just keep your arm on the floor. Keep those hips lifted, just a few more breaths here. And the next inhale, gently push those hips up, and then exhale, come to your tabletop. Perfect. Let's just come into a quick cat-cow. So foam roller is just off the side for a moment. As you inhale, you're going to drop the belly, lift the chest. And exhale, chin to chest, round the spine. And let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale. One more cat-cow. Inhale. And exhale. Perfect. Okay, we're just going to go through one vinyasa flow just to get our body a little bit warmer before we do some more things with our roller. So let's go ahead and take our hands to the top of the mat. You're going to tuck your toes. Your roller can just be off to the side. Let's lift up to down dog. Just want to build a little bit of heat before we lay on our foam roller. So you can pedal out your heels here in your down dog. You're lifting those hips up. You're pressing your chest towards your thighs. Nod your head yes, shake your head no. And then inhale to bend those knees. Exhale, you're going to walk your feet towards your hands. Come into your forward fold. Hang out here for a couple breaths. Bend your knees, drop the head completely. Inhale takes us to standing. Nice and slow here. Reach all the way up, inhale. And then exhale, swan dive forward. So just nice and simple here. Plant those hands back down. Step back to down dog. Take your time. Inhale forward to your plank. And exhale, lower knees and chest for chaturanga. Elbows back. Lower that chest in front of your fingertips. Flatten your toes. Inhale, lift baby cobra. And exhale, tuck the toes. Down dog. Let's do that just one more time through again to build a little bit of heat. Bend the knees, inhale. Exhale, walk to the top. Forward fold, drop the head. Inhale takes us to standing. Reach up, palms come together, and exhale, swan dive forward. Big stretch, plant those hands, step it on back. Down dog, exhale. Inhale forward to your plank. Exhale, lower knees and chest. Inhale, lift baby cobra. Open that chest, toes to the floor. And exhale, retuck the toes. Come back to down dog or child's pose, your choice. And just take 2 breaths right there. One more breath. And then slowly walk it up. Okay, perfect. So hopefully you're feeling a little bit warmer. We will come back to that a little bit later and practice a couple balance poses using our roller. So now I want you to lay this lengthwise on your mat. So here, if you don't have the roller, you can stack a couple of pillows to make it nice and long. And if you were just joining us not too long ago, we're going to do a lot of focus on foam rolling today. And we also have another quick 15-minute session this afternoon at 1:15 with me and Sarah if you want to hop onto that. That will be good for after Weekend Warrior class. So slowly lower down. This will be more of a feel-good session. You want to have your hips on that roller and then your whole back and your entire head. Keep your feet nice and wide here for good stability. Nice and wide. If you have them close together, you might actually slide off the foam roller, so keep them nice and wide. Arms down. We've done this several times before. I just want you to close your eyes for a moment. Take just a couple of breaths here to allow your body to figure out what's going on top of this foam roller. Especially if you have a black foam roller, that's the hardest density. That's gonna be a little bit harder for your body and for your muscles, a little more of a shock just for a couple of moments. If you have a softer one, a white one, then this should feel pretty comfortable just because it's softer. Okay, keeping your feet hip distance, let's reach our arms straight up to your palms are facing one another. Inhale, I want you to open your arms, make the letter T all the way down, and then exhale, bring them back up. We're gonna do this just a couple of times. Inhale, open, and exhale, close. I just have to move myself a little bit. So keep going with those arms. Open up, make the letter T, inhale and exhale. So make sure you have room to do that. It's almost like you're doing a doorway stretch. You should be able to take the back of the hands all the way down to the floor. Okay, last one, you're gonna hold it there. Take a couple breaths. Hold it right there. You should feel a big stretch in your shoulders. If you don't worry, we'll try something else if you don't feel that stretch yet. But if your shoulders are really tight, you're probably already going to feel this. One more breath from that T position. Okay, if you want a little bit more, bring those arms back up. And instead of the T, we're going to make the letter Y. So start with your arms down by your side, facing the floor. And then inhale, reach them all the way up, overhead, make the Y. You want the back of the hands to touch the floor. That's the goal. And then exhale, bring them back down. So if you're using pillows, if you're not elevated off the floor enough, this probably won't be as effective. So make sure to get big fluffy pillows or towels or sweatshirts because you want to be raised and lifted off the floor so that you can really get that proper stretch. And just keep doing this movement, inhale and exhale a couple times. You want to keep your head nice and neutral. I'm just moving mine a little bit to look at the screen, but keep your head neutral. Try not to move it. So let's do one more. And on that last one, you're just going to hold them overhead. And if that is just way too much for your shoulders, you can make a goal pose, or we call cactus pose in yoga. So you can bend the elbows at 90 degrees. That would feel a little bit better. And then even less intense is coming back to that T shape. But I challenge you to try something a little uncomfortable. I promise you will feel better as soon as you get up from this. So just big stretch in those shoulders. I usually can't and don't promise anything, but with this, you definitely will feel better. So it might be a little uncomfortable. Just let gravity do its thing. And then very slowly bring your arms back up. You can cross them across your chest, give yourself a hug. Oh my goodness, I felt that one. And then slowly bring your arms back down by your side. So now we're gonna add in the legs and the hips. So all you're gonna do here, keep them wide, just extend them straight out. So just straighten your legs. So now you're gonna feel your hips. You can hang out here. If this doesn't feel good on your back, you can just come back to bent knees and feet on the floor. There will be a space between the foam roller and your back, that's okay. Now, if you're ready for the whole thing, arms and legs, go ahead and add the arms. You can make the letter X with your body. That's the fullest version. Or you can come to that T and just hold for a couple of breaths. So we're just stretching out the entire front side of our body, which if we are sitting at a desk all day is contracted. the whole day. And that is probably why this might feel a little bit uncomfortable. Keep breathing. I promise you will feel better once we're done. Couple of breaths. Now, if anything is just painful, does not feel right, go ahead and readjust. Hold it wherever you're at for 2 more breaths. And then very gently, you can start to bend those knees, place the feet back on the floor, and slowly bend your elbows. Place those arms back down. Perfect. Now, before we slide off this roller, just want us to do a couple of bridges. This is a little more of an exercise. It's going to turn on our core. So you're going to keep your feet nice and wide and your arms down by your side. If you want to look at my screen, you can, but I'll cue you. You're just going to gently lift one leg off the floor like you are marching, a marching bridge. You keep that knee bent. Yep, perfect. Inhale, slowly lower back down, and exhale, lift the other leg. You're going to feel like you're moving around a little bit, right? It's because our roller is unsteady. So your goal is to try to keep it as still as possible while you're doing this. Now you can think of pressing your back into that foam roller. So inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Just continue with a couple of leg lifts or marches, as we call them. Just lifting one leg off the floor at a time. Inhale, exhale. Couple of marches. Again, the goal is to keep the roller as quiet, as steady as possible. Notice whether you're putting a ton of weight into your arms or not. It's easy to want to brace the floor, but try to not do that either. Think of your core stabilizing you. So maybe try 1 or 2 more on each side. Try to relax your upper body. I'm going to do 1 more on each side. Almost like a little Pilates movement. All right, and then let's go ahead and just slide off the roller. Just wanted to warm up that core a tiny bit. Let's go ahead and slide off. Now you should feel like you are heavy into the mat here. Nice and heavy. You're going to hug your knees into your chest. Gently rock side to side. This part should feel really good. Just start to make circles in one direction. We're going to get into our hips next. And then go ahead and circle in the other direction. All right, and then go ahead and release. Okay, so now let's grab our foam roller. And oh, you're going to feel much better when we stand up at the end of class, by the way. I mean, you might feel it now already, but definitely when you stand. Okay, so we're going to slide our roller now underneath our knees. And we're going to lift our hips up. We're going to slide this right underneath your hips. I know I'm wearing all black, you can't really see. So I'm in a bridge position, and that roller or block or pillow is right underneath your lower back. So we're almost in a supported bridge. Okay, go ahead and just hold that for a couple breaths. Just hold that real quick. So already you might be feeling a big stretch in those hips. This is just a supported bridge. If you're feeling the stretch, you can just hang out right there. We will do a little bit more with this, but keep your feet flat, heels on the floor. Nice supported bridge. Okay, if you want a little bit more, we're going to go ahead and lift our right knee up. You're going to bring your right knee into your chest, and you're going to extend, lift your left leg at the same time. So straighten your left leg straight up to the ceiling, and all you're going to do is hold your right knee to your chest. So right knee isn't going to go anywhere. Now your left leg is going to slowly lower down with each exhale. You can just relax that foot. It doesn't need to be flexed or pointed. Just keep it relaxed with every exhale. Lower a couple inches, inhale and exhale. And then eventually you'll get to a point where it really can't go any further. You're just gonna let gravity take over. Keep your right knee into your chest. Keep that leg nice and straight, your left leg. Try to get the heel to touch the floor. Maybe you gotta bend your knee a little bit to find the floor there. That's okay. We're gonna hang out here for a couple breaths. So what I want you to do is tuck your hips under. So we don't want a huge arch in our back here. So go ahead and make sure that the core is nice and strong, that your back is not too arched. Now, if you're not quite reaching the floor, you can bend that left knee. Maybe then you can find it. Upper body is just completely relaxed. Let's give gravity just a couple more breaths here, a couple more moments. Sometimes it just takes a little bit to really let go of that tension, especially in our hips. I think I've said this before. It's almost like you're at the doctor's office, laying on like the seat there, and you can just allow your legs to fall off the edge. So it's sort of that same feeling, or just on the edge of a bed even, right? And the legs are just falling off the edge. So we're just getting really good stretch for those hips rather than just laying flat on the floor. We can't really get into that stretch if we're flat. And our leg has nowhere to go. So very, very slowly, you're just going to bend that left knee. Just be nice and gentle. You don't want to get stuck in that stretched out position. Bend that knee, bring it into your chest, give yourself a little hug. And now you're going to extend your right leg up. Keep that left knee into your chest. Your hands can be on that knee or underneath the knee, whatever feels comfortable. And every exhale, you start to lower that right leg. If you're not sure, you can take a look at my screen to make sure you're doing the same thing. Every exhale, that right leg lowers. Take your time. The goal is to eventually be able to touch the floor with your heel without arching that back. So now check in with that back, tuck those hips under, make sure it's not too arched. A little bit is okay, but not too much. Because of course you can touch the floor if you arch your back, right? So don't want to do that. Really want to allow that proper stretch to happen. Now, if you are very far away from the floor, like I am on this leg, you can bend your knee and maybe just place your foot on the floor. Maybe that feels a little bit better. Keep breathing, take a few more breaths. Just have to be patient here with the stretch. If it's painful, you just bend that knee, bring it back into your chest, readjust your position. Once you think you're getting a little bit closer with that heel touching the floor, you can bend the knee, try and find the floor, again, without arching your back. Let's take just 2 more breaths. Close your eyes here. Hopefully you notice that that leg is starting to get closer and closer if it's not already touching the floor. And then very, very slowly bend that right knee and bring it into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. Circle those ankles, wiggle your toes. And then very slowly bring your feet back onto the floor. Or back into that bridge, okay? Now you gotta lift your hips a little bit higher so we can move the foam roller away or the block. So lift up a little bit higher and then slide that roller off to the side. Keep those feet on the floor, knees bent, and just do a little windshield wiper movement here with your legs for me. Just dropping them side to side. Perfect, good job. So we're gonna go back into building up some heat, back into some flow. And this time we're just gonna use that foam roller for a little bit of balance because we're gonna practice warrior three. So when you're done with your windshield wiper, you're gonna slowly roll over to your side, press yourself up, take your time. And once you're there, you're gonna find a nice downward facing dog. Pedal out those heels. Let's bring that heat back to the body. Inhale, you're gonna bend your knees. Exhale, you're gonna walk, hop, or jump, and come to a forward fold. So nice and easy here. Bend the knees as much as you need to reach the floor. You can leave that roller off to the side for now. Inhale takes us to standing. And then exhale, let's bring our palms together and take them down to heart center. Okay, let's go ahead and come back up, inhale, and exhale, let it go. So we're gonna go through our first sequence here. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Press your heels into the floor and take your hands either to your shins or your knees. Lift your chest, and then exhale, slowly lower. Let's step that right leg back. Just a medium step, warrior one. Glue the heel, lift the chest. Inhale and exhale. Good, interlace those fingers. Keep your thumb and pointer extended. Now you might feel that your shoulders are a little bit more open from doing some of those movements. Hold this here, pressing that the back heel into the floor. And then let's go ahead and straighten that front leg. Inhale and exhale, lower those arms. We're gonna go right into our triangle pose. Inhale, reach forward towards that front foot. And exhale, lower halfway. And go ahead and open up that right arm. Big twist here. Looking over that shoulder, maybe using the wall here. Lifting your chest. Hold this for a couple breaths. We did that thread the needle to warm up through that side body. Lift it up here, one more breath. Inhale, push into your back foot. Exhale, step into chair. Drop those hips, reach those arms up. This is too much, keep your hands at chest. Drop those hips, nice and low. Imagine that chair right underneath your hips. Perfect. And then inhale, let's lift up. You're gonna lift that right leg up, and as you exhale, we're gonna step back to warrior two. So you're gonna step that foot back, open the hip, press your heel into the floor. Arms up and then down, warrior two. So pressing your heel back, front leg is bent, back leg is nice and straight, arms are strong like a warrior. Getting as low as you can. Equal amount of weight in your front leg as your back leg. And then inhale, reach forward, flip that palm. Exhale, take it back for peaceful warrior. Take your gaze up at your hand. Nice big stretch to that side body. Inhale, come back. And then exhale. We're going to come to a lunge. You're going to take that back heel off the floor. Back hand reaches down towards the floor. Arms come up, our hips, everything faces forward now. Inhale, and then exhale, take those hands down. So here's our first warrior three. Inhale, reach down, lean forward. Exhale, you're gonna push off that foot. So here's warrior three. Now we have the foam roller. So if you find that your balance hasn't been very good, you wanna practice with it because we have it, go ahead and grab that foam roller and use that to hold on. So we're gonna hang out in this warrior three for a couple breaths. Your standing leg is slightly bent. Your back leg is nice and straight. We're gonna add a little bit of movement here to work those glutes. So whether you're holding the foam roller or not, I want you to inhale, bend that knee, lift up, bring it to your chest, and then exhale, kick it back. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale, knee to chest. Oh my goodness. You should feel that standing leg. Exhale. So we're flexing, pressing through our foot. Let's just try 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Last time. Then you're going to try to move that foam roller away and not use it. Last time. Hold it right here. Maybe extend those arms out by your side. Hold it for 4, for 3, 2. Step back to your lunge. Inhale, reach those arms up. And exhale, take those hands down. Step back to down dog. Great job, everyone. Inhale forward to your plank before we hit the other side. Exhale, knees and chest. Lower all the way down. Chaturanga. Inhale, lift baby cobra. And exhale. We're going to tuck the toes. Down dog or child's pose. Hold that there for 2 breaths. And we'll do that same thing on the other side. Nice and warm. One more breath. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk, hop, or jump. Forward fold. Hang out here for a breath. Inhale takes us to standing. Nice and tall. Bring your palms together. Exhale, lower. Okay? On to the other side. Inhale, lift. And exhale, float it down. Nice and warm. Let's keep that heat. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Think of pushing your heels into the floor. Lifting that chest up. Exhale, lower. Step back with that left foot. Medium step back. Glue the heel to the floor. Lift up. Warrior 1. Arms up. Interlace those fingers. Maybe cactus pose feels better. Hips are forward. Hold this for 2 more breaths. And then our triangle pose. Tuck those hips under. 1 more breath. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, let the arms go. Reach towards your front foot. And then exhale, find that triangle pose. Extend that arm up. Hold this here. We have that wall. Find the wall. Lean back into it. We want to lift our chest open in our triangle. Hold it for a couple more breaths. Beautiful. Good job, everybody. Take your gaze up. And then inhale, push into that back foot. Exhale, take it to the front. Chair pose. Big step, big drop. Hold this here. Get nice and low. Hold this for 1 more breath, and then you're going to lift up and step back to warrior 2. Inhale, nice and straight. We lift our left leg. We'll do this a few more times. Big step back. Open that hip. Press your heel into the floor. Arms up and down, warrior 2. Imagine you're being pulled in both directions here at the same time. You want that torso right on top of your hips, not forward slightly or back slightly, but right in the center. Good for warrior 2. Shoulders down. Deep breaths. Inhale, flip that palm. We can lean forward there. And then exhale, take it back. Peaceful warrior. Take your gaze up at your hand. Big, big stretch. Reach it back. And then inhale back. Exhale, pop that back heel off the floor. Rotate to the front. Back hand reaches down and around. Inhale up. Exhale, hands together. So now we're just in a nice high lunge. Hips facing forward, back heel off the floor. Lean forward, bring it right for that warrior 3. Inhale. Exhale, push out that back foot. And hold. So use your roller here. Go ahead and grab that. Use the roller. And this is helpful too, because you can reach further down on that roller and really extend that leg if you want to practice that too. Or your wall, or you're not even using the roller, that's okay too. All right, so we're gonna work those glutes. As we inhale, you're gonna bring that knee to your chest, nice and tall, and then exhale. We're doing 4 of these. 3 more, inhale, lift, exhale, 2 more. Keep your gaze in front of you. Press it out, try 1 more. Your foot is nice and flexed. Inhale, you're gonna hold that last one, exhale. Take your hands away from that roller. Extend them out by your side or in front. Hold it for 4, 3, back leg straight, lift a little higher, and 1 big step back. Oh my goodness. Inhale up and exhale, take it down. Go ahead and step it on back. Awesome work, everybody. 1 more time for this vinyasa here. Inhale and exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lift. Exhale, take it on back. Child's pose, take a few breaths. Awesome work. Couple of breaths here. So now we're just going to do a little stretch. I'm going to show you a couple different things with the foam roller to end as well. So inhale, walk those hands over to the right diagonal while you're in your child's pose. Hold it there, nose to knee. Inhale back to the center. And exhale over to the other diagonal. Hold it for a couple breaths. And slowly walk those hands back to the center when you're ready. Inhale. And exhale, walk those hands up. All right, so we're gonna go right into stretching out those glutes since we were just working those very heavily with our warrior 3. So you can do this off with the foam roller, but I'm gonna show you just something to get a little extra stretch. So really our foam rollers are for self-myofascial release. We have fascia in the body, sort of like a web-like connection that's all throughout our body. And the roller helps to release that tension or tight muscles. So it's sort of like giving yourself a massage. You're gonna take a seat like we did in the beginning, but we're gonna take your hands behind us. We'll start with that right ankle and take it over your left knee. So we do this stretch on our back usually. It's called a figure 4 or a pretzel. And we can do it on the roller. There's a little bit of work involved because your hands are behind you and you're having to kind of keep yourself up. But what I want you to do is lean over to that right side. And then I want you to start rolling very slowly forward and back. So here's the self-massage part. It's probably not going to feel comfortable, but that means that you're doing it right. It just means that your muscles are tight and that this is probably necessary. You can make little circles. If you feel a knot, pause, breathe, and then start to move again. You might see people doing this and they might be like this. You do not want to go fast when you are foam rolling. You want to be gentle with your muscles in your body, and you never want to go over any joints, like your knees or your ankles or hips. Let's go ahead and switch. Other side. Left ankle over that right knee. Maybe just sitting here, you're already feeling that. If those muscles are tight, lean over to that left side, and again, start to go maybe little circles or just a gentle roll forward and back. Just really digging into those muscles. Now, if this is not enough for you, you could try something a little more concentrated like a lacrosse ball. And that helps with the glutes. Okay, you can go ahead and release. Let's come into just a butterfly stretch while we're here, slightly elevated. So soles of the feet together, knees out. Let's take a nice deep breath here. And then exhale, gently folding forward, maybe walking those hands out. Maybe just a nice forward fold. You can gently push your knees out and away to get that stretch for those hips. Take a couple breaths. We're going to roll out one more muscle. Slowly come on up. Okay, so let's go ahead and come off the foam roller. So we won't do all of these, but you could also even do roll out your calves or your hamstrings, but I want to show you quads. So if you have a lot of tightness right here, your hips are always flexed, we're going to roll out these muscles. So now you're going to place the roller this way. So not lengthwise with your mat, but across the mat. You can watch first, you're going to get into a plank position. So you want to lay down on your roller, make sure you have room in front. So you're in this plank position on your elbows. Again, a little bit of work involved. All of your weight on the roller, and you're going to go slowly forward and back, making sure you don't roll on top of your knees, your kneecaps, or right on top of your hips. But just that space between your hips and your knees, you can go ahead and try it. Woo, quads are sore, I'm feeling this. And again, nice and slow, taking deep breaths. If you have the black foam roller, this is probably gonna not be that comfortable because it's the hardest one. So maybe try for a couple seconds. You can hop off and relax. Or take a moment to put more weight in your feet and then try it again. So go ahead and try that. Forward and back, very, very slow, slower than you think. Keep going. It's almost like if you're baking, taking a rolling pin to dough, and you know how it starts in a ball, and you roll it out to flat, right? So it's sort of the same thing what we're doing. Muscles get tight, they sort of get into a ball. The fascia gets all tight, we gotta roll it out, get that blood flow, that oxygen. So as soon as you're done, you feel better, a little uncomfortable while you're doing it, especially if you are super tight or have knots. So you all can go ahead and stop. Unless that felt really good, you can keep going. Let's take that roller back in front and just do one last child's pose here before we are done with our roller. So just one last one, arms up in that Y, thumbs up. Inhale and exhale, drop the head in between. And take a few breaths right here. Take a few breaths. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about that kind of foam rolling, the self massage, what it really is intended for, you can hop on our session later today at 1:15 to 1:30, and we'll be doing a little bit more of that. All right, slowly come on up and let's move this off to the side. We're gonna finish up on our back. Come on down. Once you're there, you're gonna hug those knees into your chest. Rock side to side. Let's drop our knees, our legs over to the right. Let's come all the way over to the right. We're gonna go into an open book stretch. So in that fetal position, all the way on the right side, stacking those arms. Inhale, lift that left arm, reach it all the way over, look over that shoulder, open book, and then exhale, close it back up. Your head, you can follow your arm here. So inhale, follow the arm, bring it all the way over. Exhale, close it up. Let's do one more time. Inhale. And hold it here as you exhale. So just look over that shoulder and hold this spinal twist. Keep those knees close into the chest as you're doing this. Very slowly close up the book. Very gently come onto your back. Just want to do this nice and slow. And then roll over to your left side. So don't want to do that too quickly. Be mindful of your back. So all the way on the left, come into that fetal position. Arms are straight, knees close into the chest. Inhale, this time that right arm opens up. Look over that shoulder. Exhale, close it back up. 2 more times. Inhale, open. Reach as far as you can. Exhale, close. Last one. And last one, you're going to hold it right there. Look over that shoulder, hold it. Knees close to the chest. Couple of breaths right here. All right, gently close that book back up. Gently come onto your back, nice and easy. We'll do another set of windshield wipers here. Arms overhead, just dropping those legs here from side to side. Bring the knees back into the chest. We will finish with one last pose, our happy baby pose, to get a big, big stretch for our back and hips. So knees in, grab those feet, extend and kick them straight up. Maybe rock side to side, give your spine a little massage. And then when you are ready, just gently place those feet back onto the floor. Find a comfortable position for just a moment here. Close your eyes. Just our final few moments here. Close your eyes. Allow your body to just melt into the mat. And then start to bring that awareness back to your body. Maybe move your head from side to side gently. Start to wiggle your toes and fingers. Open your eyes gently, and when you're ready, move over to one side and press yourself up to any comfortable seated position. Maybe a couple shoulder rolls once you're there, or a gentle twist over the right shoulder and left shoulder. And then inhale, let's reach those arms up. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Let's do that one more time. This time, bring those palms together on the exhale, lower them down in front of you. Close your eyes for a moment. Thank yourself for making this time for you and for sharing it with one another. And then we will open our eyes. We will say namaste to one another. Namaste. Happy Friday. Thank you, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of flow, a little bit of foam rolling. If you want a little bit more of some traditional foam rolling, 1:15 today, 1:15 to 1:30, just quick 15 minutes. Drop your email if you don't have that link. This is the last day of our fitness reset week, and no classes Monday for the holidays, so enjoy the long weekend. Great job, everybody.
Thank you. Remember, Monday's a day of service, so volunteer if you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
MLK Day. Yep. Definitely volunteer if you can.
Yeah.
Thanks for